12 reasons older people feel disrespected by younger generations. Many older adults, especially those aged 65 and above, feel a growing sense of disrespect from younger generations, whether through impatience, stereotypes, or neglect. This lack of recognition leaves them feeling undervalued in a world they helped shape. Disrespect isn't always intentional. Often it's the byproduct of a fast-paced, youth-driven culture. Yet for seniors, it signals a painful disconnect in the erosion of respect for their wisdom and contributions. This article explores 12 reasons why older people feel disrespected, offering insight into how we can bridge the generational divide and rebuild the respect they deserve. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. 1. Lack of recognition for their life experience. Older Americans, especially those aged 65 and above, often carry a profound sense of having lived through transformative eras, decades of resilience, growth, and hard-earned wisdom. Yet, many feel their experiences are brushed aside, deemed irrelevant by younger generations who prioritize innovation over history, speed over reflection. This disregard strikes at the core of their identity. A lifetime of facing challenges, adapting to changes, and building families and communities becomes invisible in a culture that often equates age with obsolescence. This lack of recognition is particularly painful because it dismisses not just the past, but the ongoing contributions of older adults. Their knowledge is not static. It evolves, enriched by decades of experience. When they share insights, offer advice, or recount stories, they're extending an opportunity for younger generations to learn from their successes and failures. But too often, these moments are met with indifference or impatience. A senior's detailed account of how they navigated financial hardships or sustained long-term relationships is frequently interrupted with comments like, "That doesn't happen anymore," or "Things are different now." These responses, even if unintentional, devalue their perspective and leave them feeling unheard. In family dynamics, this lack of acknowledgement becomes even more personal. Grandparents, for instance, may eagerly share stories about their upbringing, hoping to create a sense of continuity and connection with their grandchildren. Yet, these narratives are often overshadowed by digital distractions or dismissed as irrelevant to modern life. The absence of attentive listening doesn't just hurt, it creates a rift, a missed opportunity for bridging the gap between generations through shared understanding and respect. To older individuals, being seen and heard is about more than personal validation. It's about preserving a sense of purpose. Their stories, lessons, and contributions are threads in the fabric of their families and communities. When these are ignored, it's as if their legacy is erased, leaving them with a profound sense of loss. Respect begins with acknowledgement. Younger generations, by simply listening, can offer a powerful affirmation that their elders' experiences matter, that they are still a vital part of the ongoing narrative of life. 2. Dismissal of traditional values. For many older Americans, traditional values are not just personal beliefs. They are the moral and cultural compass that has guided their lives and shaped their understanding of the world. Values like respect for elders, family loyalty, hard work, and faith in community are deeply rooted in their identity. These principles have sustained them through times of hardship and upheaval, offering stability in a world that often felt uncertain. However, today, they frequently encounter a sharp dismissal of these values by younger generations, who may view them as antiquated or out of step with modern ideals. This dismissal feels profoundly disrespectful because these values were often forged in the crucible of adversity. Older generations, many of whom lived through wars, economic depressions, or societal transformations, found solace and strength in these enduring principles. A belief in self-reliance wasn't just theoretical, It was a necessity. Respect for elders wasn't an abstract concept. It was a cornerstone of family and social cohesion. When these values are rejected, it can feel like an invalidation of the very foundation of their lives. The gap between generations is often most visible in how these values are expressed and prioritized. Younger people, raised in an era of rapid technological advancement and cultural shifts, may place greater emphasis on individuality, fluidity, and immediate gratification. While these perspectives reflect the realities of a changing world, they can clash with the older generation's emphasis on tradition, patience, and long term commitments. For seniors, seeing these values brushed aside isn't just disheartening, it's a sign that the lessons they hold dear might be forgotten. This divide is particularly painful in family settings. A grandparent might encourage the importance of sitting together for a family dinner, a tradition symbolizing unity and connection, only to see younger relatives glued to their phones or opting to eat separately. These moments of disconnection go beyond mere preferences. They represent a deeper sense of alienation, a feeling that the customs they cherish are no longer valued. Respecting traditional values doesn't mean rejecting progress. It means finding ways to integrate the wisdom of the past with the opportunities of the present. For younger generations, showing respect for these principles, whether by engaging in a family tradition or simply listening to an elder's perspective, can create a bridge between worlds. For older individuals, this acknowledgement reaffirms that their values and the lives built upon them continue to hold meaning and relevance in an ever changing society. 3. Impatience with their pace. Aging brings with it a natural slowing down, not just in physical movement, but in the rhythm of life itself. For older adults, this slower pace reflects a lifetime of learning to value patience, deliberation, and reflection. However, in a culture that idolizes speed and efficiency, many seniors feel the sting of impatience from younger generations. Whether it's a rushed tone in a conversation, an exasperated sigh at a checkout line, or a dismissive glance during a story, these small gestures send a powerful message. You're too slow for this world. For older individuals, this impatience isn't just inconvenient, it's deeply hurtful. It implies that their worth is measured solely by their ability to keep up with a society that seems to be accelerating without pause. A grandfather taking his time to count out exact change, or a grandmother carefully choosing her words to share a cherished memory, is often met with visible frustration from those around them. These reactions strip away the dignity of older adults, reducing them to obstacles rather than individuals with valuable experiences and perspectives. This impatience is particularly painful in personal relationships. Conversations that could be moments of connection are rushed or interrupted, leaving seniors feeling unimportant or silenced. Family gatherings, instead of being spaces for reflection and storytelling, often become hurried affairs where the needs of older family members are overlooked in favor of faster, more convenient interactions. The deliberate pace that older adults bring to these moments is not a flaw. It's a gift, a chance to slow down and appreciate the depth and meaning that comes with time. When younger generations take the time to match this pace, they discover the richness of wisdom and love that older people offer. Slowing down is not just an act of kindness. It's an acknowledgement that every moment shared is an opportunity to build understanding and respect. For older adults, patience is more than a courtesy. It's a lifeline that restores their sense of belonging in a world that too often rushes past them. 4. Minimal effort in maintaining relationships. For many older adults, relationships are the heart of their lives, the bonds that provide meaning, comfort, and continuity. Yet, in an age dominated by busyness and technology, they often feel these connections slipping away. Younger generations caught up in the whirlwind of careers, social lives, and digital distractions sometimes fail to invest the time and energy needed to nurture meaningful relationships with their elders. For seniors, this lack of effort is not just disappointing, it's deeply isolating. The shift is most painfully felt within families. A grandmother who once delighted in long phone calls with her grandchildren may now receive only sporadic texts, if any at all. Visits once filled with the laughter and deep conversation are increasingly rare or hurried. These changes leave older adults feeling neglected, as though they are no longer a priority in the lives of the people they love most. It's not just the absence of time that hurts, it's the absence of presence, the feeling that even when interactions do occur, they lack depth and sincerity. This distance is often unintentional, born out of the fast paced lives younger people lead. However, for seniors, every missed call, every canceled visit, and every distracted conversation compounds the sense that their role in the family has diminished. They may feel invisible, as though their love, wisdom, and contributions are taken for granted. The relationships they've spent decades building seem to fade, leaving a void that no amount of technology or convenience can fill. Maintaining relationships with older adults doesn't require grand gestures. It requires consistency and care. A heartfelt phone call, a handwritten note, or an unhurried visit can mean the world to someone who treasures connection. For younger generations, these small acts of effort affirm the enduring value of their elders, reminding them that they are seen, heard, and deeply loved. For older adults, this effort restores a sense of purpose, reinforcing that their relationships remain as vital and cherished as ever. 5. Disregard for traditional values. To older generations, traditional values are not just abstract ideals. They are the principles that have guided their lives through times of immense change and challenge. Values like respect, loyalty, hard work, and faith are deeply woven into their identities, representing stability and meaning in a world that often feels uncertain. Yet, many older adults feel that these cherished principles are increasingly dismissed by younger generations who may view them as outdated or irrelevant. This dismissal strikes at the very core of who they are. For older individuals, these values are not relics of the past. They are the foundations of their resilience and success. Respect, for example, isn't just about polite behavior. It's a recognition of the worth of every individual, regardless of age or status. Hard work isn't just a mantra. It's a testament to the sacrifices they've made to provide better opportunities for their families. When these principles are disregarded, it feels like a rejection of the wisdom and lessons they've spent a lifetime learning. The divide is often most visible in how these values are expressed. Younger generations, shaped by a rapidly changing world, may prioritize individual freedom, flexibility, and innovation, sometimes at the expense of tradition. A senior's insistence on family dinners, for instance, may be seen as unnecessary or old-fashioned by younger relatives who are more accustomed to eating on the go. These moments of disconnection create a sense of loss, as though the bonds that once held families and communities together are unraveling. Respecting traditional values doesn't mean rejecting progress. It means recognizing the enduring wisdom they offer. These values have stood the test of time because they provide a moral compass, a way to navigate life's complexities with integrity and purpose. By honoring and incorporating these principles into modern life, younger generations can create a bridge between the past and the future. For older adults, this acknowledgement is not just affirming. It's a reminder that their lives and lessons continue to shape the world in meaningful and lasting ways. 6. Stereotyping older adults as inflexible. Stereotyping older adults as inflexible is one of the most painful forms of disrespect they encounter. It dismisses their capacity for growth, change, and adaptability, reducing them to caricatures of resistance. This stereotype is not just inaccurate, It's deeply unfair to a generation that has lived through extraordinary transformations. From the advent of the television to the digital revolution, they have witnessed and adapted to a world reshaped countless times over. Yet, they are often perceived as incapable of understanding or embracing new ways of thinking and living. This label can be isolating as it discourages engagement and dialogue. When younger people assume that older adults are unwilling or unable to adapt, they miss opportunities to learn from their adaptability and resilience. For seniors, this assumption can feel like a rejection of their identity, as though their willingness to evolve is invisible to those around them. A lifetime of learning to adjust, whether to new technologies, cultural shifts, or personal losses, is disregarded with a single word: stubborn. What younger generations often fail to see is that older adults bring a critical perspective to change. Their experience allows them to discern what is worth embracing and what might be better approached with caution. They are not inflexible, they are thoughtful, weighing new ideas against the wisdom of the past. Engaging with this perspective doesn't hinder progress. It enriches it, providing a depth of understanding that only years of experience can offer. To dismantle this stereotype, we must approach older adults with curiosity rather than assumptions. When their insights and openness are recognized, they feel respected and valued as contributors to an evolving world. For younger people, listening to their elders is not just a courtesy, it's an opportunity to deepen their understanding of how change is best navigated and sustained. 7. Lack of patience in interactions. In a world that moves at breakneck speed, patience has become a dwindling virtue, and older adults often bear the brunt of this cultural shift. Whether it's in conversations, public spaces, or service interactions, seniors frequently encounter impatience from younger individuals who seem unwilling to slow down and meet them where they are. For older people, this impatience isn't merely frustrating, it's deeply disrespectful as it dismisses their humanity in favor of convenience. The lack of patience is perhaps most painfully felt in everyday communication. Older adults who often speak more deliberately or recall stories in detail may find themselves interrupted or rushed. Their efforts to share a memory or offer advice are met with hurried nods or diverted attention, signaling that their words are a burden rather than a gift. These moments create a sense of invisibility, as though their contributions are unworthy of the time it takes to hear them fully. This impatience extends beyond conversations to how seniors are treated in public. A person moving slowly through a crowded store or needing assistance with technology often becomes the target of exasperated sighs or dismissive remarks. These reactions erode their confidence, making them feel like obstacles in a world that prizes speed over understanding. What younger generations may not realize is that patience is a profound form of respect. Taking the time to listen, wait, or assist communicates that an older person's time, presence, and voice are valuable. For seniors, this acknowledgement restores a sense of dignity and belonging, reminding them that they are not forgotten in the rush of modern life. For younger individuals, practicing patience is an opportunity to connect more deeply and meaningfully with the wisdom and humanity of those who came before them. 8. Ageist language and jokes. Ageist language and jokes may seem harmless to those who use them, but to older adults they are a source of deep hurt and alienation. Comments like, "You're too old for that," or jokes about memory loss and physical abilities strip away the dignity of aging and reduce a lifetime of experiences to a punchline. These remarks are not just insensitive. They perpetuate harmful stereotypes about older people, reinforcing the idea that aging is synonymous with decline or irrelevance. For older individuals, ageist language feels especially cruel because it disregards the strength and resilience it takes to age with grace. Every wrinkle, every gray hair, and every story told is a testament to survival, growth, and adaptation. To mock or belittle these markers of life is to devalue the incredible journey they represent. These jokes, even when meant in jest, can leave lasting scars, eroding confidence and fostering a sense of invisibility in those who hear them. The sting of Agis humor is particularly sharp when it comes from family or close friends. A grandchild joking about a grandparent's slowness or a peer making light of their age can feel like a betrayal, a failure to see the person behind the stereotype. These moments are not just about words. They reflect attitudes that dismiss the ongoing value of older adults in their relationships and communities. Changing this dynamic requires more than avoiding certain phrases. It requires a shift in perspective. Language shapes how we see the world and the people in it. By choosing words that affirm the dignity and worth of older individuals, we challenge the stereotypes that diminish them. For seniors, this shift is not just empowering, it's a validation of their continued relevance and an acknowledgement that aging is not something to ridicule, but to respect and honor. 9. Lack of representation in media. For many older adults, the way media represents or fails to represent them serves as a constant reminder of their diminishing visibility in society. Television shows, movies, advertisements, and even social media platforms often cater to youthful ideals, celebrating young faces, new trends, and the energy of the future. Meanwhile, older adults are frequently relegated to the margins, portrayed in stereotypical roles, or overlooked entirely. This lack of representation feels like a denial of their continued relevance, a societal message that once you've passed a certain age, your story no longer matters. When older characters do appear in media, they are often depicted in shallow or cliched ways. The frail grandparent, the comical neighbor, or the wise but passive mentor whose role is to guide younger protagonists. These portrayals ignore the rich complexity of older lives, full of ambition, love, struggle, and joy. They fail to reflect the reality that many seniors are dynamic individuals, actively contributing to their families and communities. For those watching, these portrayals can feel dismissive, reducing their identity to a one-dimensional caricature. This erasure extends beyond fiction to advertising and public messaging, where older adults are often portrayed only in the context of decline. Ads for medical devices, retirement homes, or financial planning dominate their representation. This narrow focus suggests that aging is synonymous with dependency, ignoring the millions of seniors who are active, vibrant, and engaged. For older viewers, this lack of diversity and representation reinforces the feeling that they are being defined by what society assumes they've lost, rather than what they continue to contribute. Inclusive representation isn't just about fairness, it's about creating a cultural narrative that values people of all ages. Stories centered on older characters, advertisements that celebrate their vitality, and media that authentically captures the breadth of their experiences can reshape how society views aging. For older adults, seeing themselves represented in all their complexity affirms their place in the cultural fabric, reminding them and everyone else that their lives and stories matter deeply. 10. Preference for youth-centric perspectives. The world's relentless focus on youth is a source of pain and frustration for many older adults who feel overshadowed by the prioritization of younger voices and ideas. This youth-centric perspective dominates not only cultural trends, but also workplaces, social spaces, and even family dynamics. To older individuals, it can feel as though their contributions and insights are deemed less valuable simply because of their age, as if experience and wisdom have been replaced by novelty and immediacy as society's primary measures of worth. This bias is particularly evident in how progress and innovation are discussed. Younger generations are often celebrated as the engines of change, while the lessons and guidance of older adults are overlooked. When seniors share their perspectives, born from decades of navigating personal and societal challenges, they are sometimes dismissed as out of touch or resistant to change. This dismissal isn't just disrespectful, it robs society of the depth and balance that their insights can provide. In families, this preference for youth can manifest in subtle but hurtful ways. Younger members may make decisions without consulting their elders, assuming that their opinions are either irrelevant or unnecessary. Whether it's planning family gatherings or navigating major life choices, older adults are often left feeling sidelined in discussions where their voices could have brought wisdom and clarity. Shifting this perspective requires an acknowledgement of the value of intergenerational collaboration. Younger people may bring fresh ideas and energy, but older individuals offer a grounding in history, perspective, and patience. Recognizing this synergy creates space for a society that values not just the speed of youth, but the wisdom of age. For older adults, this acknowledgement restores a sense of purpose, reminding them that their contributions remain indispensable in shaping the world's future. 11. Failure to show gratitude. For many older adults, the absence of gratitude from younger generations feels like a profound betrayal. Gratitude isn't just about politeness. It's about acknowledgement, a recognition of the sacrifices and efforts that have paved the way for the opportunities enjoyed today. Older individuals who have spent decades building families, contributing to communities, and shaping a more stable and prosperous society often feel their efforts are taken for granted. This lack of recognition leaves them questioning whether their work, love, and perseverance are truly valued. This issue is particularly painful within families where the bonds between generations are most visible. A grandparent who spent years providing care, financial support, or guidance may feel unappreciated when their grandchildren seem indifferent or inattentive. Parents who work tirelessly to provide better futures for their children may sense a lack of acknowledgement for the sacrifices they made. These feelings are not about seeking constant praise, but about desiring a basic level of respect and appreciation for the roles they've played. Gratitude is more than words. It's reflected in actions. Taking time to call, visit, or even say thank you communicates that older adults' efforts and presence are noticed and valued. When this gratitude is missing, it creates a painful void, leaving seniors feeling as though they are no longer integral to their families or communities. Rebuilding this culture of gratitude starts with small but meaningful gestures. Expressing thanks for a shared story, acknowledging the guidance received, or simply recognizing the hard work and love that older adults have given can have a profound impact. For younger generations, these acts foster deeper connections and reinforce the bonds that sustain families and societies. For older adults, being met with gratitude restores their sense of importance and affirms that their lifetime of contributions continues to matter. 12. Ignoring their wishes and preferences. One of the most disheartening forms of disrespect older adults experience is when their wishes and preferences are ignored. This often occurs in decisions about their lives, ranging from living arrangements and medical care to day-to-day matters like what they want to eat or how they want to spend their time. For older individuals, this disregard is not only frustrating, but also profoundly dehumanizing, as it strips them of the autonomy and dignity they've spent a lifetime cultivating. This issue often arises in family dynamics where younger members may make decisions on behalf of their elders without fully consulting them. While these actions are often well-meaning, driven by a desire to protect or support, they can leave older adults feeling powerless. Decisions made without their input, even if done with good intentions, can feel patronizing and dismissive, as though their opinions no longer carry weight. Healthcare settings are another area where older people frequently feel their preferences are overlooked. They may be prescribed treatments or placed in care facilities without sufficient consultation, leaving them feeling like passive recipients rather than active participants in their own lives. This lack of agency can lead to feelings of frustration, resentment, and even depression as they grapple with the loss of control over fundamental aspects of their existence. Respecting the wishes of older adults is not just about honoring their autonomy, it's about recognizing their inherent dignity and worth, engaging them in decisions, listening to their preferences, and prioritizing their voice affirms their role as individuals with the right to shape their own lives. For older individuals, having their wishes respected reinforces their sense of self and strengthens their relationships with those around them. It's a reminder that age may bring changes, but it does not diminish their humanity or their right to be heard. Conclusion: rebuilding respect across generations. Respect for older generations is more than a courtesy. It's a recognition of the wisdom, resilience, and sacrifices that have shaped the present. Addressing the reasons older people feel disrespected isn't just about bridging a generational divide. It's about creating a culture where every age is valued. By listening, showing patience, and acknowledging their contributions, younger generations can not only restore respect, but also build deeper, more meaningful connections that honor the legacy of those who came before. Respect strengthens the ties that bind us all. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching. And here's to living life on your own terms.